Hey, video product review of the Energizer A as an atom 23 battery 12 volt, sold as a pack of 4. So what they do is they send you 2 packs of 2. That could confuse some people. It says 4 number of batteries, 4 A batteries required included. Pack of 4. Leave an affiliate link in the video description because nobody knows how to buy batteries unless they watch YouTube and find out where to get an affiliate link. So, why did I buy this? Because I want to make an 8-minute video on how to replace a battery. I've got this old garage door opener. It uses these batteries. A lot of remote controls use these batteries. This thing that you pick up from Amazon, I've done videos on this, uses the batteries. A lot of car alarms use the batteries. They're really small, 12 volt. I don't know why they're using a 12 volt on these things instead of, well, you can't really use a AA or even a AAA. So 12 volt makes sense. It's a nice sized battery for a little remoting. Make sure you do that thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, and all the cool stuff. Smash that notification bell and all that junk nobody does. Now we've got the little LED light over there. I want you to look over here. When you smash this button over here, we'll get the little red light that comes on. You can't really see that unless we shut off the lights. And not all remotes have this, but most of them have it, so you know if your battery is dead, that light is not going to come on. We'll go over to this thing. This is many years old. Press the button over here. No light. This one works now. This one doesn't. Originally, this was not working. I went and I flipped the switches back and forth to clean the dirt out of them. Then I cleaned the battery contacts. A little bit of battery acid leaked, and then I had to reposition it better, and now it works. So, if you're going to buy a pack of 4, if you're going to buy a package of 4, why not just replace the batteries at the same time? I don't need 4. I could have bought 2, but yeah, the price. Odds are these will last so many years that by the time I'm ready for the other 2, they will be leaking or not working. So I'm going to show you how to do this. This is high tech. I removed the screw that was over there with a Phillips screwdriver. And it helps if you have nails, but if you have nails, then you're probably going to break them doing this. You can usually squeeze it. We all know squeezing it feels good. So you squeeze it and you're trying to get this thing. You might have to use a screwdriver. You just don't want to damage the case. So I'll press a little harder. See, when you squeeze it, you get a little bit of separation. Oh my God. There we go. Then it comes apart. And this is really when you want to put the screwdriver in there or ruin your nails. Do I have a screwdriver here? There you go. You want to be patient, just go slow. And now, we're going to open this thing up. And there we have our battery. The little pointy side is always the positive. The flat side is always the negative because, hey, let's face it, you never want to go in from the back where it's flat. You want to use this insert point where it's pointy, and that's positive, and the back of the battery a negative. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pop out this battery now, gently. And a lot of times, oh my gosh, I'm looking at this right now. I was wrong over there. Okay, so the spring was the flat side, the back door, and the pointy side is the front door. And so you got positive over there and negative. Negative flat is always where the spring is. And then you go and you, sometimes when you do this, the whole thing comes out. And like on these, some of these things, when they build it, the board is too big and it doesn't want to go back in properly. But I'm going to take out the battery now. And a lot of times this little piece comes off also. That's your little rubber piece on the other side of this. So let me go pull out the battery. Here we are. I am back without video lighting. Let's go pop this thing in here. Just barely fits. And then what I want to do is we have the switch over here and the LED light over here. Let's just press this. Try not to short anything else out. And hopefully it's going to come on. I think it's coming on. Let's check. So I put the battery in, and I was pressing the button, and it wasn't coming on. Look at that. It's not coming on. See? And most people would say, let's throw this out. Let's spin the battery around a little bit. See? A lot of people would have thrown this thing out. I'm squeezing the battery in there, which tells me there's probably corrosion on the battery piece. Let's go clean that off and I'll be back. The other thing about these is that even if your battery connections are good, you might have a bad switch. These switches get a lot of dirt in them and they just don't work after a while. So like I can press on this thing, doesn't come on, but if I wiggle it and jerk it around, it comes on. So I'm going to put on the back now and the front. I'm going to close this thing up. Then I'm going to put the screw in the back. See, let's look at this. See the light? It's coming on. That wasn't coming on before. What you can do is put some isopropyl alcohol in the switch. If you do that, make sure the battery's disconnected and completely dry it out before you put the battery back in, because if you have isopropyl on there and you put the battery back in, you're going to burn out the circuit, and then this isn't going to work at all. So isopropyl is really good for cleaning dirt out of switches. Don't put switch cleaner in there. Just use isopropyl. And since it's a liquid, it's going to contact, so you can't have the battery in there when you do that. And then make sure it's completely dry. Isopropyl will dry out. But the thing is, even if it's in the switch, and it should dry out, you're going to have moisture under the switch or on the contacts. So blow it out with compressed air if you can. Get that thing clean. And there we have a repaired remote control that this thing is probably worth about 10 cents. And I just saved it and showed you how to save a remote. Put in the new battery, make sure the switch is clean, wiggle the switch around, make sure your battery contacts are clean, close everything up. Let's turn this thing off. And you can see right now, it's kind of an old, it's intermittent, but it's a spare. And I keep it because it's a spare. That's how you save your remote control. I'm going to do the same thing on this. This is a newer one bought on Amazon. Check out my channel. This runs on 300 megahertz. If you replace these things, you need to know which one you're buying, what frequency it runs on. It's the same idea. You go over here on the back. You remove the screw, which we're going to do, but make sure you use the right screwdriver. Now, I bought this and it works. My neighbor bought the exact same model because I told him to. And when they put the switches in, when they built this thing, the circuit board was too big. I don't know how they closed it up, but the circuit board was too big when he replaced the battery. And, when he bought it and went to adjust the switches. The other problem is they put the switch in upside down. They put it in backwards. So when he thought it was going up, it was really going down. Unbelievable that they would do that. That is the quality control. So, same idea. This one has a little notch over here that's been terribly damaged by using a quarter instead of a screwdriver. Go pop this in here. Separate your rim. We'll open it up now. Cut. We've got it open now. We've got the LED over here, and we've got the switch. And you can see how it goes on much easier. This battery is fine. This battery came with it. This battery will probably last a couple years, but the landfill gave me a phone call and said, we really want a battery in the landfill. Can you help us out? Since this is open, I'm going to put a battery in there. We have the same thing, I believe. You got the little flat back, the rear. You never want to take it from the, you never want to put the rear on the wrong side. So the rear is always going to go on the spring, and the pointer is always going to go on the flat piece, which you can see is already hanging out of the case. Great workmanship. Make sure you don't have any corrosion on the spring or the end. It's acid, battery acid, so make sure you're careful. You don't want to clean that stuff off and breathe it or get the dust on anything. Let's make sure it works before we close it up. You got a nice light. I'm going to close this thing up. And this one closes up, goes together properly. The other one I was talking about, the board was too big, it wouldn't snap together. The rubber piece for the switch came off. So I think I've saved somebody a lot of money making this 2-minute video on how to do this. Let's get the battery in there. Get the cover closed. Make sure you use the right screwdriver. Don't strip these things. Some of them are already stripped and they'll turn and turn and turn forever. And that is just how it goes. If I would tighten this really tight now, I would strip out the thread and it would just spin forever. There we go. I'm going to turn off the light. And, oh, I didn't like that. Okay, so we've got this that works. And we've got this that works. See how kind of intermittent it is? Yeah, this is kind of bad. It's not a bad battery, it's a bad switch. So that's how you replace the battery in a remote control. This video has been on the, oh, that really doesn't show you much. This video has been on the Energizer A23 battery. Comes in a pack of 4. I'll leave the affiliate link. This is one of the best prices on there. It really doesn't matter which brand you buy. Just don't buy the cheapy things. These things might leak a little bit, but just don't buy junk batteries because they leak even more and they damage your product, and then you got to go clean it up. And thanks for watching.